Today, I want to tell you a story about how people can rise again, even in the darkest moments of life. It is the story of Zeno, the founder of Stoicism. He was a wealthy merchant who lived centuries before Christ. One day, his ship sank, and he lost everything he had. Imagine watching your entire life collapse overnight. That is what happened to him. He was devastated and struggled for a long time to recover. But one day, while walking through the streets of Athens, he encountered philosophy. He began studying Socrates, Plato, and the Cynic philosophers who were influential at the time. He turned to philosophy as a way to face his suffering and rebuild his life. Over time, he developed his own philosophy. The way of thinking we now call Stoicism emerged from one of the darkest moments of his life. One of the most important lessons Stoicism teaches is the difference between what is within our control and what is not. In life, there are things we can change and things we cannot. Yet most people suffer because they spend their energy trying to change things beyond their control. For example, you go to a job interview and get rejected. You keep thinking, maybe I should have answered differently. But you are not the person making the final decision. That part is outside your control. So what can you control? Improving yourself, working on your weaknesses, and preparing for the next opportunity. Stoicism teaches us to focus our energy on what we can change, instead of wasting it on what we cannot. The same is true in relationships. You may deeply love someone, but they may not feel the same way about you. If you have done everything you could, the rest is no longer up to you. Beyond that point, holding on to the pain only harms you, because the situation is no longer within your control. According to the Stoics, life is full of uncertainty. Difficult moments will come, and good moments will come too. But even hardship can carry the potential for growth. If Zeno's ship had never sunk, would Stoicism even exist today? Maybe not. That is why, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we should ask, "What can I do now?" First, accept reality, then move forward. Stoicism also reminds us of something uncomfortable. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. At first, that idea may sound heavy, but it is actually a powerful reminder. When you remember that life is limited, you begin to use your time more wisely. You start valuing the people you love, stop postponing your dreams, and learn to truly live in the present. The illusion of endless time makes people careless. The reality of death reconnects us with what truly matters. Another important lesson of Stoicism is learning to step back and see the bigger picture. A problem you are facing right now may feel endless, but think about the things that once felt unbearable in your past. How many of them still affect you today? Most of them are probably things you no longer even think about. In the same way, the thing exhausting you today will eventually lose its power. Stepping back and seeing the bigger picture keeps you from becoming a prisoner of your emotions. Stoicism also teaches us not to hide our vulnerability. Asking for help is not weakness. Sometimes people get tired, and sometimes they need support. Trying to prove your strength through anger is pointless. Anger often hides something deeper: insecurity, disappointment, or emotional pain. If you can understand what lies beneath your anger, you begin to understand yourself more clearly. And finally, the problems we create in our minds are often far worse than reality itself, because the mind constantly creates negative scenarios. But when you finally face the problem directly, you begin looking for solutions. That is why so much anxiety comes from imagined suffering. If you can bring this perspective into your life, you will feel stronger, calmer, and far more at peace.